Recently, I needed a break from the high pace of Osaka and Tokyo, and so I hopped on the Shinkansen down to Fukuoka in southwest Japan. I arrived as a hurricane was passing by, but the dragonflies in the Fukuoka tower in the distance calmed me. The following day, the rainstorm had cleared, prompting me to go to Ohori Park. I was met with swan boats being driven across the lake next to the Kangetsu Bridge that connects the northern part to the inner small islands that run through the center of the lake in Ohori Park. The Okimido Pavilion is one of the typical monuments that foreigners take pictures of in their trip to Fukuoka. Though beautiful, the best part is by far the wildlife. My favorites are the turtles, reared-eared slider and Chinese pond turtles, sitting on a stone ledge by the water, completely relaxed, which let me get close-up shots of them. The island also featured cute and friendly mallard ducks, which also let me get these beautiful close-ups. Grey herons and other birds line up in a long row to add to the relaxed vibe. Interestingly, the Ohori Park dates back to the 17th century and was once part of the Fukuoka castle's moat, where Ohori translates to large moat, before it was rebirthed in the 19th century as a park. The inner island is composed of 3 smaller islands connected via stone bridges, as well as hosting the pavilion. The remaining moat of the castle is the part we saw with the lotus leaves. Afterwards, I had this really fresh and delicious late brunch at the seafood boat place called Gaogao Ohori, just southwest of the park, where you pick a seafood plate and you get a large stone pot of rice and a paddle to mix together the dishes with dashi. After the meal, I headed towards the Momochihama beach, right at the coast in front of the Fukuoka Tower. In front of the tower on the beach was a small group of restaurants and shops, dubbed the Seaside Park. In the middle of the shops was a road that stretched out and connected to a small path that led to a pier with an extravagant wedding venue on top of it. Following the footpath around the building led to the dock where smaller speedboats ride multiple times throughout the day to the nearby island to reach Umi no Nakamichi. I spent most of the afternoon here tanning in the sun and strolling at the beach. From the beach, you can see many different eclectic buildings with rather interesting architecture, such as the Hilton Hotel and the M Tower with its glass ball structure at its top that hosts rental spaces for businesses. After visiting the beach, as the sun was starting to wind down for the day and golden hour was past its peak, I headed towards the Fukuoka Tower to get some sights from a higher vantage point. The Fukuoka Tower itself is the tallest seaside tower in all of Japan at 234 meters in height. It was designed by the architect firm Nikken Sekkei to look like a mirror sail, where its exterior is wrapped in 8,000 semi-reflective glass mirrors. An interesting fact is that the tower weighs an astounding 25,000 tons underground to anchor the foundation and hold the part above the ground that only weighs around 3,500 tons. Just west of the tower lies a residential neighborhood laid out by the renowned Japanese architect Miyawaki Mayumi in the 80s, featuring small detached luxury homes which really accentuate that cozy feel of the Fukuoka coast. A stylish condominium tower of residential apartments called the Nexus Momochi lie directly next to the Fukuoka Tower, adding accessible modern architecture, with further condominium complexes across the water westwards in Atagohama. As the early evening progressed, the setting sun cast dispersed shadows onto the highway of the coast as the city's lights woke up the nocturnal energy of the city. I rounded off the day with some ramen, which Fukuoka is famous for. The following final day in Fukuoka, I ventured out to the Daisaifu Tenmanga Shrine. Taking local trains into the center of the prefecture, I arrived at the quaint little village near the mountain range on a very hot day in late June. The main street, the Omotesando or main path that leads to the temple grounds, is covered in small shops and cafes and adorned with 2 torii gates. At the entrance of the grounds, after the 3rd torii gate, you meet a golden bull which can be stroked in several different ways for good luck. The path curves to the north, after which you meet a small pond and orange drum bridge. The greenery and vines wrapped in the large camphor trees that spread across the grounds, the concrete animal statues, and small Torah posts with miniature temple houses on top, all transport you to a jungle scene out of Indiana Jones. The grounds also feature these animal statues, such as dragons and deer, along with a water pond with a sacred turtle cast in stone on its bottom. The sacred bull was the Mount of Michizane, a 9th century scholar who was unjustly exiled to Daisaifu that after his death turned into a vengeful spirit that cast thunderstorms upon the capital of the time, Kyoto. The Daisaifu Tenmanga Shrine was raised in order to appease Michizane, with 11 cow heads serving as symbols of sacred messengers. Finally, we reached the beautiful and stunning main shrine of the temple. Its detail somewhat corroded with age as, just kidding, it's just a cardboard cutout. Unfortunately, the shrine was actually undergoing renovation during the time I visited Fukuoka, which was such a letdown, but quite a comedic climax to the whole trip to Fukuoka. The surrounding temple grounds also include small paths that feature a larger old camphor tree, which actually consists of 2 separate trees, along with a small path that ventures up the hills, where I stumbled upon this beautiful large black swallowtail butterfly, better known as Kuro Ageha in Japan, which kept flexing at me and flapping its wings without any fear for me standing right next to it with a camera. Behind the grounds lie these smaller houses said to act as residences for small deities, along with a Sarinto with metal braces that traditionally can be found crowning Buddhist pagodas. After passing some stunning stone bridges and nature surrounding the grounds, I started to venture back towards the station. However, on the way, a large crowd caught my eye. A middle-aged man was standing in the middle of a large crowd, and as I got closer I could see why. He was accompanied by a seemingly disobedient, and frankly, quite lazy, monkey, all part of a comedic act where the monkey eventually performed some stunts. Heading back to the main street, I rounded off the trip by visiting the local Starbucks, which has become very popular as an attraction itself due to its unique interior wood design and its ceiling that features a geometric lattice consisting of 1,000 wooden beams, designed by the renowned architect Kengo Kuma. Following months of living a higher-paced life in both Tokyo and Osaka, coming to Fukuoka was a real breath of fresh air that let me really relax and feel present again in a country where you were always on guard to act a certain way in public. Hey, you! Did you subscribe? Did you like? Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And smash the like button if you want to see more videos. Peace.